Welcome to the Get Real podcast. I'm Austin, I'll be your host. And before we get into today's topic, I want to go over a few things with you guys. First off, I want to give a shout out to my editor, a guy named Daniel. I'll leave a description to his stuff, his content, his channel, and his social media in the description under this tab here. Just check him out, give him some love, give him some shout out. He's really helping bolster this channel, and he's my guy for editing NBA footage. He did the work on the previous video. Speaking of that video, it went down really well. I got about 230-ish views. Thank you guys for your constant support. You should expect this level of content from here on out. And like I said before, it's only going to get better from here. Just keep providing that feedback, keep that support, and we'll keep this thing going. Now, today we're going to talk about Jimmy Butler and what is going on with this guy and what is going on in his head. So let's start off where these rumors and the speculation that maybe Jimmy Butler was a head case started off with. It was back in Chicago, back when Dwayne Wade was there, and there were some, rumors. Some people were starting to say, maybe Jimmy Butler's a head case because a whole lot of people in that locker room are not working well with him. It's just him and Dwayne Wade basically versus that entire locker room. Now, when I first heard this, I had some skepticism. I thought, you know what? The Bulls don't have a great sense of ownership. They don't have the best management. Rondo's one of the guys saying that it's not working out, and so I take most things what Rondo says with a grain of salt. Guy has been on like 8 teams in 8 years, it feels like. He's just been a journeyman. So I'm thinking, it might not sound like a big deal. Maybe they have a point. Dwayne Wade is backing him up. That's a 3-time champ, a guy that's been there, done that. So maybe something's going on there that we just don't know about. But I didn't want to jump on to that wagon right away to think, okay, Jimmy Butler's a villain. Jimmy Butler's doing something wrong. So I ignored that. I pushed it away. They still had a decent season. You could debate they would have won their first round series if Rondo didn't get hurt. Not bad, right? So then this guy gets traded to the Timberwolves, as you all know, during draft day for basically Chris Dunn. So I thought that was going to be a good situation for him. Thibodeau was there. They seemed to have a decent chemistry. I thought, okay, that might work out just fine. One thing to consider, though, and people don't often remember this for some reason, the guy got traded. He wasn't a free agent and signed somewhere. He was traded. He didn't ask to be there. That's just how it rolled out. So they have a decent season. Again, injuries kind of derail them. They get bounced in the first round. Kind of a frustrating playoff series for Karl-Anthony Towns as well. And then you start hearing rumors later into the offseason that, again, there seems to be problems with Jimmy Butler. And now he demands a trade. He wants to get out of there. He's fed up. He's done. And then the big, I guess the practice is what it's known as, the big foretold practice, it came out that he, was yelling at other players, yelling at management while playing, saying, you need me for this. You can't win without me. Was going after Cat. Was going after Wiggins. Was just acting like a tyrant, basically. It's how he's portrayed. And he took the third stringers from that practice and beat the first team guys. He beat the starters. It was him and the third stringers, and he's like, you know what? I'm going to ball up against these starters, and reportedly he whooped them. So, again, I still kind of ignored that smoke, thinking, you know what? Cat didn't look so good in that last playoff series. Wiggins hasn't really shown anything special. Always thought he was kind of an empty calories kind of stats guy. On his best days, he put numbers that didn't result in any wins. And then it started to come out, Jimmy Butler asked for a trade 3 days into the offseason. People forget that fact too, right? This guy asked for a trade 3 days into the offseason. So the Wolves had every opportunity to get rid of him, to move on from him. Jimmy Butler even gave him multiple meetings, and he kept reinforcing his statement saying, no, I'm still gone. I do not want to be here. And I was trying to tell Wolves fans, hey, you don't have to like it, but you're lucky he's telling you this. Because ask some fans in San Antonio how they feel about a very similar situation, and they would tell you you're lucky your star player actually told management he wanted out instead of ducking and hiding out in New York for most of the season. But that's a different story for another time. So when that was going on, I thought, okay, Cat may have been out of line for this guy, but I always thought, you know what, he kind of nailed it with Andrew Wiggins. And then to jump forward a little bit, they haven't done too crazy good after he left. I mean, Cat has been great, no doubt, has had great games. They're kind of flirting with the 14th seed, though, in spite of that. Wiggins, I'm not going to beat a dead horse here. We all know he's been terrible. He's been really, really bad. He's on basically the block, or he's going to get there eventually for one of the biggest busts in NBA history. I mean, that's the path this kid is on. So at least in this respect, I can't blame Butler for going after Wiggins. He was right. The kid's kind of weak mentally. He doesn't do a lot right. He can't do a lot of things to keep him on the court. And I would contest that if it wasn't for his salary of this max contract he got, there would be no reason for the Wolves to play him for more than 10 minutes a game. I don't think he'd see himself on the court. So they get traded. He goes to Philly. I think Philly started off the season 8-6, right? And now, I think post-trade they went 18-18, which is not bad. But boom, here we go again. He's rumored to be butting heads with Brett Brown. Doesn't like the system. Since the trade happened, you also have guys like Ben Simmons, Joel Embiid saying they don't like their fit in the offense. My first reaction was, don't do this to Brett Brown. Philly, do not fire this guy. This guy sat through years and years of your process movement, which basically means tanking for a lot of years, and he had to suffer through that. His head coaching record is forever tarnished, because even if he's successful, like 50 wins each season, he still went through like 3 or 4 seasons with 20 wins roughly. That hurts a guy's legacy. But he didn't say a word. He was a professional. He sat through it. He did whatever ownership wanted to do. He was a team guy. So just to go off on that tangent a little bit, do not let this man go because of what Jimmy Butler said. That would be a big disservice to this coach, who deserves a lot better than that. But, so anyway, Joel Embiid says he doesn't like the way he's using the offense. He's not a perimeter guy. He needs to work in the paint. I agree with that. But then you also have, and this is, again, speculations, rumors, and they've really downplayed it since these rumors came out, that he's already butting heads with Brett Brown. So this guy is now 3 different situations where he's been butting heads with former coaches, players, staff, management, and I guess all this comes down to is this. I don't know who Jimmy Butler thinks he is, but he acts like he's some guy that's been there, won championships, been a top 5 player in the NBA, and that you should listen to him because he knows more than you. Now, part of it I get. You were the 30th pick from Butler. No one really believed from you. I think it's Butler. Don't hold me to that. But you've had this chip on your shoulder for so long that people didn't believe in you. And you betted on yourself when it came to your contract situation because he turned down the offer from Chicago and said, you know what? I bet you I can earn more money. I'm going to ball out. And he did. Good for him. So I get that. That's his mentality as a basketball player. I respect that. But man, you are not LeBron. You are not Kobe, Kevin Durant. You are not Kawhi Leonard. You're not Russell Westbrook. You're not James Harden. You can call about 10 players, one of them his own teammates, by the way, in this league who are better than him. So what is this guy thinking like he's a top dog? And if I really thought that he would quiet down when he came to Philly. At the very least, he'd wait till he get paid. He would wait. He'd be on his best behavior, wait for that paycheck, which would be $190 million roughly for like 4 or 5 years. So I thought he'd like, you know what, at the very least, he's going to get paid, and then he might have some of his problems right. Nope, he couldn't even wait that long. And I think he might be running himself out of Philly and out of many jobs from here on out. Now, I'm not here to say Jimmy Butler's going to fall out of the league. That's not happening. But I don't think he's going to be going to a contender. I think whoever vies for his services is just an average team at best that's desperate for any star help, that wants to be relevant again. But I think contending teams with cap space are going to be like, you know what? We're going to take 6 other guys and like Chris Middleton, Tobias Harris, and ask those guys before we ask Jimmy Butler. I think that's where this guy's headed. And I really hope this guy kind of turns it around, kills that stigma of being just a team killer, of being a bad teammate, of just not being able to work well with coaches. I'm rooting for this guy. He's an underdog. His story where he was homeless growing up and how he fought through so much adversity growing up, it's admirable. It leaves an impression on you. So I hope this guy does well. I really do. But As of right now, yes, Jimmy Butler has pushed himself into headcase territory. I can't defend it any longer. Hopefully things change, but as things are going in Philly, their second round exit, they'll be lucky to make the conference finals. What do you guys think of the situation? Do you guys think that the media is trying to make Jimmy Butler be a villain? Do you think that they are right in every sense of the word, how they portrayed him? What are your thoughts on this topic? Leave a comment in the comment section. Let me know what you think. Like I said at the beginning of this video, this is the type of content you should expect from here on out. Shout out to my man Daniel once again. Keep up the good work, bud. As always, this is the Get Real Podcast. Like if you like this video, subscribe, hit that little notification bell so you know when I upload stuff. Thank you guys for your support. I'm out.